everyone and welcome back. This is 100 Days of UI Design with Veera, and today's UI design is... I'm not going to spoil it, I'm just going to show you what it is. Today we're making a Harry Potter inspired ring set slider. You are going to be blown away by the way it turns out. It has these beautiful color contrasts, it has these beautiful options to change the colors, and it is navigatable, completely navigatable. There's this background silhouette, there are shadows, these are colors with lighting. In this episode, we are going to look at how to actually use your mobile to view your prototypes on your own mobile screen. So you're not going to need me to share something with you. This time you can use your very own prototypes, use them as actual apps on your mobile phones, share them with friends. Let's just get started. The very first thing you're going to do is you are going to go to Google or Firefox, whatever it is you want to go to, search for Figma downloads. Figma.com/downloads. This is the simplest first step. You're going to go to Figma downloads, choose your desktop app for macOS or Windows depending on what you're on. Once you've done all of the steps that the installer tells you to, you're going to jump right back into Figma, which is going to be newly installed for you, and you're going to be greeted with this screen. To create a new file, just go to this blue button and click on design file. This is going to make a completely new design file for you. Now that we have this sorted out, we are going to get started with creating a first frame. The way you create your very first frame in Figma, click on F and then click inside of your screen and then resize your frame depending on what resolution you want your device to be in. And the way we choose what number we want, especially for mobile devices, is we look at their viewport. So for this device that I currently have, this mobile screen has a viewport dimension of 414 by 925 pixels. Your device is going to be a little bit different. It's going to have a different viewport size. And the way you check for what viewport size your device is you go to Google, type in the name of your device, let's just say iPhone, and then click on or type viewport ratio. Let's just get more specific with iPhone 15 viewport ratio, because each iPhone has a different viewport ratio. iPhone 15 has a screen viewport ratio of 393 by 852 pixels, and this is the amount you're going to set your frame width and height values to. So since your device is going to have a different viewport ratio, this you will have to Google by yourself, figure it out for whatever device it is you're presenting it on. Since this is not web development, since this is UI design, you need to be, even in web development, we're mindful of what the viewport size is, but especially in UI design, you don't want things to be too wonky. For a prototype, you're going to look at your viewport ratio very first thing in the morning. Alright, next we're going to resize this frame, give it the viewport size that you've just found out online. The first value is going to be your width and the second value is going to be your height, whatever it is you think your viewport ratio is. Once we've done this, let's just simply, very simply, get our images which are going to go inside our UI design, just so we know where we're placing things and at what position. The way you're going to get images is you're going to click on the Discord link, which is in the live chat pinned comments, or you can just find it as the first link in the description of this video. There is a link to our Discord group community, one of the best design communities ever, by the way. Did I mention? You can find every single asset, every single image, every single piece of text that we use for these UI designs for 100 days and more, everything we've ever used on this channel on that Discord group, and you're going to import and download for yourself this really beautiful folder that doesn't make any difference whatsoever. You're going to download your very own folder, which is going to have all of these different images for you to choose from. Again, we're going to be using all of these images in this specific UI design. You can find links to all of the previous images that we've used, all of the images that we're going to use in the future for this complete challenge in our Discord group. Let's just start by creating our stag screen. So we're just going to click on the first stag image, drag it inside, and then we're going to also click on our other stag ring and drag that inside as well. So now that we have our dragged images of both the stags, you're going to take this first image and place it in the background. And we haven't done anything if you're getting confused on how we've made a simple image look like this, it's just we've taken a random image from Unsplash or wherever it is you want to take your images from, I've taken a stock image. I've used the iconsate background remover, which you can find as a plugin right here. You can type iconsate and select an image. It's very, very simple. You can check out the plugins video on this channel for that as well. Iconsate background remover on any basic image that you have, and I've removed the background using the iconsate background remover. Once you have a removed background, you can just simply run this on any image and remove your background. Once your image has a removed background, I've simply reduced this image's fill to 63%. You can change it to 60, 65, around that number. So I've just reduced its fill and removed its background, and then I've imported it as a normal image for you guys to use. So for this specific image, you don't have to do anything, but if you want to use a new image, the way I've processed this image, just remove its background, go to any background remover online, and then reduce its image fill to 60%, 63%, around 60 to 65%. Okay, now that we have settled that, we'll put this in the background, align it. Maybe if something's not fitting, you can always drag it, click on shift and then drag it so everything just scales beautifully all the time. Clicking on shift and dragging is the ultimate hack. And then take your image, place it dead center, maybe just get it down a little bit, center it horizontally using this button, and then you can drag it down a little bit because it does not have to be in the exact center. It's going to be shifted a little bit below. Next, we are going to have ourselves some text. But before we do that, we want to add a background color. Before we forget, let's add a background color. Okay, so the way we're doing this is, this image does not just have one single background color. It has a group of different colors. And the way you do that is, you add a linear gradient. Since there is no circle in it, no shape involved in it, it's just going to be a plain gradient involving a line, a linear gradient. You're just going to go to the second option of fills, choose linear for linear gradient, and then start to change your colors from black to this angle. So you're just going to place the first holder on the top right corner and the second holder on the bottom left corner. The first one is going to be 00000, which is the hex code for black. And the second one is going to be purple, because we're going for a purple theme. And the reason we're going for a purple theme is because the eyes and the whole theme of this tag just looks really good with purple as opposed to any other color. You can test it out. For me, purple worked best. Alright, I think I like a color that's quite probably placed over here. So you just use the eyedropper tool and choose the color whichever you like. Maybe shift things around a little bit. Maybe add a shade or two in the middle just so everything just flows smoothly. And once we're done with that, we can start adding text. The way you add text here is, you don't need to type anything special out for this specific UI out of the ordinary. You are going to have a text file called Potter with our folder from the Discord group, and that's going to have every single piece of text that we're going to need for this UI design. It's a super simple thing. You're just going to copy this text and copy the name and just place it right here. So I don't need to copy and paste the name. We can just type it out. It's just much simpler that way. Type JAMESPOTTER, and you don't have to worry about this cases for this. So you don't have to worry about this not being completely capital. You can just go to the three dots and click on uppercase. That's going to give you an uppercase UI. For those of you who are just joining us, we are building this animated beautiful slider. This is useful for every single UI design. No matter where you are, you're always going to need a slider that is navigatable. You can switch out these for any images, any theme, any UI. Functionality is always going to be same. Prototyping capabilities are always going to be required. Alright, now that we have this beautiful slider planned, let's just jump right back to our text. We'll change the text color to be white because the dark purple and the black both could benefit with white text. Black text would not be visible at all, or if it would be, the contrast would be just crazy out of proportion, so you don't want that. You're going to place it above your image. Get the images down by a couple of pixels. Always use your arrow keys for this. It's very well aligned, very, very specific. And increase the text size. And now that we have chosen a specific text size, we're going to change this font to a beautiful font family, which is called Marcelus SC. So you have a plain Marcelus font, and then you have Marcelus SC. One of the reasons you use Marcelus SC is if you type lowercase letters here. So if you type a lowercase alphabet, let's just change cases for a little while. If you have lowercase alphabets here, Marcelus SC has these really, really nice small fonts. So for example, if I'm typing this word and this is a small STHER and this E is capital, it's going to give you this really, really nice all capitalized size difference kind of font. On the other hand, if you chose Marcelus, you would just have this really basic looking text. So Marcelus SC is the choice here to go. Let's just change the text back to what we wanted it to be. We'll just type James Potter here and change the font case to title case. Title case for Marcelus SC is how you get this really, really nice looking font working. Alright, now that we have this figured out, we are going to start with the other section, which is let's just increase the font size before we get to any other sections first. Let's just make it fit completely. And we're going to get our text from up top, bring the size of the text box to a much smaller point. We'll just take this text, place it above. Not that there. We'll just put it, shift it above, and we'll take our basic text and change the color of the text to white. The font family that we're using for this one is Inter. Inter is my favorite font for thin, basic, plain fonts. You can also go with Roboto. It's much more overused than Inter, but I like Inter because it's much cleaner than Roboto in many respects. So we'll just go back and click on center aligning everything. This aligns everything that we have on the center axis. You can also reduce the font size. Let's just go with 12 for this one because I'm not in any rush to decrease the font sizes as such. Align everything perfectly. I don't like the huge gap that is between these two lines. To reduce that, you're just going to go over here and bring this number down. So you can just drag it to the left and that's going to bring this number down, or you can type out this exact number. Don't type 110 pixels, type 110%. There is a huge difference between 110.9 pixels and 110.9% for line heights. This is relative. Alright, and now that we have this figured out, let's just align this perfectly. And finally, add a logo. So we're just going to click on Ctrl+Shift+K. That is the shortcut to importing any image you want in Figma. We'll just click on the file called logo, click on place all, and that is going to place a beautiful logo for us right in the center. Again, when you present this in your mobile device, always make sure to check where the camera is. For some mobiles, there is a camera which is present basically. Some devices have a camera up top and some devices have a camera which is on the left or right. You always want to make sure you have taken care of where the camera is. So if your camera is right here, you're going to have a lot of difficulty in seeing what's actually present on the prototype. So because we're just designing for one specific device here, if your camera is present on the top, you want to have the logo on the right side or the left side, and we're going to look into how you can add the logo on the left side or the center, because both using your logo on the left side and the center is completely fine. Neither of those have a huge change or a huge difference. Both are completely acceptable uses, and when both uses are acceptable, the smartest choice is to always make sure if your device has a camera on the center, you want to have your logo on the left side. If your device has a camera on the left side, then you want to place your logo at the center. So left and center are the two places where you can place this logo. As we have seen for this mobile, we have a camera in the center, which means we need to add the logo on the left side. We'll just add this logo, simply just drag it. You don't even have to resize it. It's perfectly suitable for mobile screens. Just click on this logo, drag it to the left side, place it right here. Nothing too complicated about it whatsoever. It's just a pro tip on where to place your logos so that they look best. Alright, now that we have this done, we can think about actually making this slider usable. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to look into having two other images that show the options of which other images to click on. Click on Ctrl+Shift+K once again. Click on any other two images. It doesn't matter which exact images you have at this point. I'm just going to go with these two. These two look good. Cancel. You can just drag these images. That's the beauty of the whole thing. And place these images behind, one on the right side, one on the left side, depending on which one you want to come next. If you want this image to come next, you are going to place this on the right hand side. If you want this image to come or already have came before or appear afterwards, before, you're going to place it on the left side. You can have a button to explore or buy these rings if you want to. I'm simply going to click on the first frame, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, that is going to duplicate my first frame. Let's just get started by changing the images. Ctrl+Shift+K. Make sure it's almost of the same size, which it will be because we've resized these images before sending them to you. Remove your previous image, change this image, and now we're just going to change our text. So we're going to go to our document, copy, place it right here.
Alright, and now we'll just repeat what we just did a bunch of other times. Just copy and paste the frame that we've already built, replace the images, replace the text, change the background gradient color, and that's it. The next thing we're going to do is prototype.
We have to prototype things first. Go to on-click, navigate to the second frame, on Smart Animate, go to Gentle, 800 milliseconds. This should be good enough for us. And now that we've made these settings happen, all of the other UIs, all of the other prototypes are going to have these exact settings with them every single time. Make sure to always link your last screen to the first one. People forget it, then it becomes a whole world of trouble. Alright, and also one last thing that I want to take care of is when you click on this button, it goes to the cat screen, and that has to remain true for this as well. So we'll just take this dog down, because if it is in front of this cat image, then this is basically unclickable. You want, and with that, when you click on this, you see all of these three wolf images, dog images, blue bordered. That means Figma detects that these are the same images and it will animate them beautifully. So they'll just morph beautifully. This is a good sign. When you click on one image, both of its other same images should also have a blue border, light up. And now, check this out. Did you see that? Did anyone catch that? Just look at it. It is the most beautiful slider in the whole world. Check it out. This has the most beautiful linear gradient going from top to bottom. No one can tell you how this black went to this beautiful shade of green, how this green works with this image so well. All of these buttons are usable, navigatable. Where else does it happen? And since we renamed all of our background images to BG, look at what it did for the background image. Check it out. It just morphs into these different faces so beautifully. The cat, just pay attention to the background for this one. This dog changes into this wolf so super smoothly. This wolf changes into the phoenix so easily, so smoothly. Where else does it happen? Always make sure to rename your images the same exact way. This font, Marcelus SC, looks fabulous as always. In fact, this font combination, Marcelus with Inter, is to die for. I absolutely love it. Let's also jump back in and check out how we can mirror this in your mobile device, how this prototype actually becomes usable for the UI device, for the mobile device that you have, for the device you want to share it with. Just go to Play Store or App Store, whichever you're on, and I'm already there, but you just basically go to App Store and search for Figma. Wherever you want to search for apps, just search for Figma, and it's going to give you this prototype and mirror app, and you're going to install it. And now we can click on open. This is what you're treated with at the very beginning. You can log into your own Figma account, and I'm just going to log into my Figma account at this point. And once you've authenticated, it gives you a notification like this. You can go back and continue with your mobile app. Beautiful splash screen as always. Since the account on this phone and on this device are the exact same, this Figma can actually detect what you're currently doing, and it can just give you that. So this is our current UI that we're using. If you get treated with an image that looks like this, you're just going to go to the top 3 buttons and click on view prototypes. This is just the design that we've just now made. These are just basic settings to how to use this app. Once this loads up, it is going to be absolute magic. Check out, the gradient is there, the font families are there, the logo is there. We made sure not to make the logo collide with the camera button. We made sure of all of these little hints and details. You can navigate to the front, to the next screen. You can navigate to the previous screen. Can you see? I'm not sure if the camera is even showing this. Can you see this beautiful maroon to black gradient? I am such a fan of this. Just check it out. It's the best thing ever. If you don't click on anything, if you click on this edge, it's always going to take you to this side. If you click on this edge, it's going to take you to the previous one. One of the best designs we have ever made. You can use this on your mobile, take it around, show it to your friends, show it to your family. This is your walking talking portfolio at this point. Your Figma app with the right mirroring is your walking talking portfolio. You don't need to lug around a huge suitcase with printouts of your UI designs anymore. Thank you for watching this UI. Bye.